Hey, what's going on, guys? Let's jump into another bill search where we'll look through my pocket money and see if we find anything worth more than face value. So this is like the best hobby ever. I mean, worst case, you go through all these different bills, you end up having the same amount of money that you started with. So we'll start off Series 2009, a little bit older $20 note. Nothing too crazy old or anything, but after the redesign in the early 2000s. First, the serial number. Nothing nuts. I like to check around the color changing ink on the front of 20s, where they have this little eagle with the shield and the 20. Not that it's super common, but since that's kind of a different style of printing that goes into the multi-phase printing process we have in the United States, there's some room for error there. Kind of misprinted 7 here. But not super dramatic, so I mean, I'm not going to necessarily hold on to it for that, but something to keep an eye out for. Back of the note, really beat up. You know, condition has a lot to do with anything, so keep that in mind. A little bit of 8s, a little bit of 9s, 2013 Series 1. You can see it's got a little bit of a shift in the seal. Usually coincides with the serial numbers. They'll be over to the left if the seal's to the left. But that one's not like obscuring something else or, you know, off the word 1 here. So unless it's sitting over in this blank space and like kind of straddling both of the blank space and the word 1, you're not sitting on an error really. Double 7s, 1s, 2017. This one's like really crisp. One below it's not bad. Nothing there. 2017 A series. You know, both were a super large run, so there's tons of different binary notes and birthday notes and all sorts of goodness that you can find just serial number wise. 2017. Nothing jumping out on the front there. If you're interested in just the layout of notes, then, you know, check out my video that kind of covers all about 1s, all about 5s, and all the different denominations, the layout of the note, what all these different numbers mean, and kind of what you're looking for in bill searches, but more so to familiarize you with the layout or format of the note. Really close. That would have been great. Well, now that I thought that was an 8 here. I was going to say, man, that would have been awesome to have 7-5, then 8s, then 7-5, but nothing nuts. Little wet ink transfer, you can see that kind of blotching of ink there. Nothing crazy. And a little repetition, a little bit of a shift down into the left of that for that seal there. The Department of the Treasury seal here. Another 2017 note. This one's kind of cool because it's like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but in my opinion, it's not going to be considered a broken ladder note, which ladders can be worth quite a bit of money. There's been evidence of them selling an auction graded for a couple $1,000 in some cases. But this one being broken up is, you know, not one I would hold on to. A little bit of funky inking on the side of this ribbon there, but oh well. Yeah, kind of cool. 5775, 8757. Got like bookends there with the 5 7s on the end, but nothing really going on in the rest of the serial number to make it like a fancy serial number. So I'm not going to hold on. Hey, we got ourselves a nice little lower serial number star note. Love it. Star notes you can come across a lot. Not every one of them is worth a ton of money. Really, if this thing was sitting with 5 zeros in the front, it'd be worth a mint. In this case, I mean, it's pretty good condition. It's 2017. It's got a fold, which kind of kills it a bit. But overall, the edges are clean. The print's clean. It's just a good old-fashioned replacement note. So, you know, if something happened to this one in the production process, or well, the predecessor to this one, and then they replaced it with this note, and they show that by putting the star at the end here. But My rule of thumb is I don't really like to hold on to serial numbers or consider them low, more specifically, unless they have 4 or more zeros. Really, 5, of course, would be stellar. But I love it, man. Low serial number, star note. Let's check out the back. A little beat up again. That fold's going to deter from it. Big question you guys are going to ask is, oh, well, what can you sell this for? I've sold similar ones to this. It would have been awesome to have 2 numbers previous to this with 4 zeros and 4 twos. That would have been awesome. This is a trinary note with 3 digits, but most importantly, it's a lower serial number. In this condition, probably, I don't know, $5 to $10 roughly. If it was in really good condition, I've seen them sell for closer to, $50 to $100, which I know is a wide window, but if you look at any collectible, it kind of ranges when you look at pricing. Just depends on the right buyer, right? I mean, only going to be able to get as much as someone will pay for it. Anyway, that's awesome, though. I set that one aside. I'm going to set it back in the stack of my other stuff. It would have went back in my wallet. 2013 Series $5 note. And nothing crazy in the serial number. Nice depiction of good old Lincoln Memorial. It's a really cool building. Going back to Washington, I was bummed to find out they didn't. They announced that they were going to reopen the Bureau of Engraving and Printing store. And man, they still have it postponed. So I'm hoping in 2 weeks when we go, they open it back up, us being in the new year. And nothing there. 2017 series. Looks like, oh, okay. Looks like we got some bills that are in order. I get asked about that all the time. Honestly, I mean, yeah, maybe if you had like an entire run of like, I don't know, thousands of bills, to the right buyer again, but just being in order, I mean, I can go to the bank and go, hey, can I get a fresh stack of 100 ones? And they'll give me those, and without a doubt, they're going to be in order, right? So I just don't think it's worth money. You can, disagree with me if you want. I mean, maybe I'm just not in the right circles to sell that type of serial number, but just consecutive bills are not worth anything over face unless they're like consecutive star notes or something. It's a really fresh $1 bill. Nice little over ink, but really common on 2017 and 2013 series, so that 4 being over inked on the left there. Same dealio as this one here. That's just super common. I think it's just, the machines were maybe misinked or not calibrated or whatever, but it was just pumping out ink as it dialed in and printed the serial numbers on the bill, so. Little off from a broken ladder. Again, ladder notes, especially ones that are in order, so like 0 through 7 or something, are going to be worth quite a bit over face value. I've seen ungraded, mid-circulated bills sell for, $40, $50 to the right people. Graded ones for much more. I think this is in that same series as earlier. Whoops, these feel way too nice. I'm used to the trash bills. I feel like every time I get change anywhere, they look for like the dirtiest note they possibly can. Nothing there. Getting down there. Last few notes. I don't know if you saw my other video and read across the internet, but they just updated the new notes coming out that they're printing. So signatures are updated. Secretary of the Treasury, of course, has changed over. A little bit of a funky print on this left serial number, but not too crazy. Nothing there. Keep an eye out for them. I mean, this is not one, but if it was 01/19/2020 or something, birthday notes, date notes, those are a big one. I mean, I think a lot of people love those. A little bit off-center print here. Same run of serial numbers there. This one's really cool. Actually, hey, look at that. I was about to pass right by this note. 01. We got zeros on the end, 19, 18, 19. And it's a really crisp, uncirculated note. I think it's just a neat serial number. I mean, I don't think it's going to be worth much over face value, if any, but what a cool note. I'm going to set that aside. I just like it. 2017A. Nice and beat up. Thought we had something right here, but my eyes are deceiving me. I was like, that's a bit darker than I normally remember it. Looks like last 2 or 3 notes. Nothing jumping out on the front here. Keep an eye up here too. Somewhere, around these different wreaths and olive leaves and stuff, they print around the edges and the border of a lot of different Federal Reserve notes. You can find errors in the printing there, especially in later numbers in the serial numbers, later parts of the run. You generally, just from printing hardware deteriorating, I suppose, gets kind of wonky. Kind of cool serial number here, too. A little bit closer to a date note, but of course the year 8000, not a thing yet. And a nice little shift up in the serial number, or the seal there, but nothing crazy. A little bit of wet ink transfer. You can see quite a bit here in the center. Looks almost like a thumbprint, but it's really common. Last but not least, 2017 series note. Nothing jumping out in the serial number to me. Nice and beat up. My favorite type. And nothing jumping out on the back. This little mark here seems to be from one of the rotary counting machines at the bank. They leave like a little teeth-looking mark at the bottom or the top of the note, depending on how it was fed in there. What did we hold on to? More of a nifty serial number. I just like collecting neat stuff to me. I honestly think it's probably worth about $1. But it's a really cool note. I think it's just a neat serial number, so I'll hold on to it because why not? And then the big find is this guy here, a lower serial number star note. Really cool. I love me some star notes, and I like that I have me one that's getting down there in serial number. I think the lowest serial number I've found over the years is probably in the 200s. So this one's getting down there, and I really like it. Let me know what you think about these finds in the comments below. And more importantly, let me know what you've come across in your collectible coin and banknote searches lately. I'll talk to you in the comments, and I will see you lovely folks in the next video. Peace out.